welcome to the Dietitian Against Diets podcast Play to Win series. Quick snippets from my book, Play to Win Your Food Fight, that will give you the nuggets you need to keep moving forward in your nutrition journey and moving forward in your nutrition journey successfully. Before I begin with my particular topic today, I want to give a shout out to one of my podcast partners here, Midwest Dairy Council. They have a campaign coming out called Undeniably Dairy, and that's centered around understanding the sustainability practices that they incorporate in everywhere from their care to their animals, to their farming techniques, to their regulations and processes, all the way to when they're shipping their dairy products out to the next place. Understanding the work that the farmers do behind the scenes is very important. So how can you start connecting to those farmers and knowing who they are in the efforts they take to make sure that you not only get good, tasty dairy products, but they're also top-rate nutritious foods? Go to their website at dairygood.org and you will get some of those stories. You get some cool recipes they have out. They keep new ones coming out. And they also just give you some of those more educational pieces that really want you to learn about what you're eating as far as consumers. Go also find them on Instagram at DairyGood or Undeniably Dairy, and they also have a Facebook page, Midwest Dairy. So check them out, learn a little bit more, and kind of get a better feel of what you're eating and why. So this particular Play to Win series is called Excuses Gets Us Nowhere. And as a dietitian, especially a dietitian that works with people every day individually through their nutrition journey, I get it. I get that it's tough and it's not easy to follow the traditional cookie cutter nutrition program that we all have experienced. But what I find is that when I'm listening to different individuals, I can tell you that I have heard it all. I've heard every reason, but I also heard a lot of excuses. Everything from just blatantly say, I just don't have time. And that can be a fact, but it's also an excuse to not really put in some time to make changes to your life. I have a lot of clients to say, I'm just not motivated. And I get it. Motivation doesn't sit in our presence 24/7. It's not meant to be. But the excuse of not being motivated doesn't fly, because you're not meant to stay motivated to make your choices. You really just have to learn how to just incorporate into your life where, being motivated or not, you're going to still want to make a better choice for your health. And another one is, yes, we have a lot of things going on, especially now, but I just can't focus. So if you're telling yourself that you don't have time, I'm not that motivated, and I just can't keep focused, then you are basically just building up your position of excuses as to why you cannot or will not make changes. So what we have to do is start changing that self-talk and changing our story. I call it change the tune. If you have a particular song that you have been singing for the last 5 months, 5 years, 15 years, perhaps it's time to turn the tune. Perhaps it's time to turn what you're listening to, what you're surrounding yourself by, and start changing the way that what the words play out to you. And turn those words into words of, I'm going to create a reason as to why I'm going to make changes now. I have a particular client. I'll be really quick with this story. When we first started working, she came to me because she had a couple other friends that had worked with me, and they were all pretty successful in their weight loss, increasing their health, decreasing their health disparities. And she came in, well, first thing she said was, all my friends can always lose weight and always be healthier, but I just can't. So she came in already with that negative energy. And she's already put a block in front of put a mental block on her ability to make changes that will allow her to, go towards her health goals or lose the weight that she's been trying to lose for years. And when you do that, you come in, you open these doors that just creates more influx of excuses. So guess what? You live in this world of excuses, and you're always telling yourself you can't. You can't. You haven't done it before. This is why you can't. It's always a different reason, but it always comes down to the excuse that you can't. So with someone like her, if you've experienced similar things where you have always kind of found yourself on the bad end of the stick, or felt like no matter what everyone else does, you can't do it, then it's going to be time to change your language. Because if you tell yourself you can't do it, or you create excuses that's why you can't do it, you're never going to be able to do it. So let's turn these, and we got to recognize where excuses come from. A lot of times excuses come from the fear of failure. that you won't get there or you won't change the way you have dreamt to do it. And you may not feel confident. So you're gonna make excuses, gonna make reasons as to why we just don't feel confident that we can do it. And sometimes we just don't feel like we're enough. We don't feel like we're worth putting time into ourselves. We're worth carving out that time to make sure that we're bringing in the best foods for our bodies. And we may not say it, verbally, but that's probably how we feel. And because of that, we cover it with the veil of excuses. So ask yourself, how long are you going to sing this song? Are you going to finally change that radio station? How long will you be okay with living this way emotionally? You can tell yourself okay, but how long do you want to live in this level of okayness? When do you want to break free and be that person that you want to be? Will it only be a dream, or will you start to put things in place to make it really happen? And you got to ask yourself, what is it going to take some like revelation? Like what in your life is it going to take for you to really put your feet down and start making those steps towards your goals? Is it going to be something big to where you have to do it now because the doctor says you have to, or your health is vulnerable right now? Or is it going to be like, what is going to be that moment? Do you need that big moment to help you to turn that corner? And if you're going to sit there and wait for that moment, unfortunately, we're going to be waiting a long time if we haven't already. So what's the solution? The solution is to really hone in on learning what proactivity is and start decreasing your excuses and increasing your reasons as to why you are going to change your health. Eliminate the excuses, bring in the reasons why. Just like the negative self-talk, bringing in this positive self-talk is what's going to give you that energy and going to give you that drive to actually start implanting steps to execute for what you really want in your life and what you really truly deserve. You want to feel confident. You want to wake up every day and feel confident about where your health is going. You don't want to always feel like you're playing with fire. Maybe you had the past, your family members had a health condition and you're maybe predisposed, or everyone in your family has been riddled with diabetes or riddled with cardiovascular health or high blood pressure. Feel like you're walking around on ice to make sure you don't get it, but you're playing with fire the whole time. How good would it feel to know that you don't have to worry about any of those health disparities because you're taking control of your health? And how about saying that you want to live in a body that you deserve, that you want to live in? I know people every day live their life uncomfortable in their own skin. Just think about how that feels to be uncomfortable in your own skin. You have to live in this vessel that you're uncomfortable with. So if you're uncomfortable with it, how is it impeding on so many other areas of your life? Because you just in a total 24/7 uncomfortable state. So you have to decide, do you want to continue to live in that state, in that body? If you feel like you want more for yourselves, decide that it's going to take time, it's going to take work, but you deserve it. And the feeling of being in a position of health and being in a body that you feel confident in and you don't have to worry about, how it's going to affect you emotionally, that's a big thing to want to accomplish, and a nice and great place to live in. So decide, where are you going to live? Where do you want to live the rest of your life in the state of your health and in your body physically? And then you ask yourself, do you want to continue to feel like you have this cloud like hovering over your head? We can continue to just put a raincoat on or put on an umbrella just to kind of shield the effects of the cloud as far as the rain or just feeling bad, but that doesn't make the cloud go away. You have the ability to take this hovering feeling from over you and live in a space where you feel free and feel confident. But until you make those changes, you're going to always have that hanging over your head. And even though you may not consciously always see it, subconsciously, it's just a playing like song that just plays with your mind the entire time. That's you think about living in life, and like, that's not really the life that we're meant to live. We want to live a life of freedom and liberation. And we want to start that with our health and with our body. And at the end of the day, you want to get tired of living a life of excuses. Just think, if you turn your excuses into reasons and start turning those reasons into execution and ways to make choices that's best for your health and for your body, you're going to also begin to not make excuses in other areas of your life. How many people have you seen that has lived a mediocre life, a subpar life than what they deserve because they live a life of excuses? Why they're not in the career that they want to be? Why they're not in a relationship they feel they deserve to be in? Why do they feel like their parenting is not, where they dreamt it would be? It's because people live in a life of excuses. We make excuses as to why this doesn't happen, why that. But again, until we turn those excuses into a reason to make changes, we're going to forever feel ourselves living in a stagnant life. And do you have to ask yourself, do you want to be okay with that? I look at, food as, I call it food as a mirror image of how we see ourselves. And so when you're making your choices, don't just make it because that's what you were told is going to help you to change the numbers on the scale, change the inches in your pants. Choose foods because you want it to represent how you care and feel about yourself. So that means if you have a choice between going for the double, triple cheeseburger versus going for a chicken salad, like understand that do you want something fresh and clean to represent you as far as you prefer the best in your body, or are you going to allow yourself to go for the cheeseburger and you know that you deserve better than that cheeseburger? Not because cheeseburger does say it's good, but because it's not good for you. So learn how you can start just using your food as actually a mirror image of how you want to see yourself. Choose food that you want to reflect you, that you want to reflect the direction you want to go with your health. At the end of the day, know that when it comes to you making your next steps, there's no magic potion. There's no exponential timeline. There's no easy button. It will take work. It will take time, but that's okay because the more you put work and time into it, the more you're going to appreciate it and the more you're going to recognize how much work you've done to get yourself to where you want to be. And in the whole process, you're learning, you're changing, you're growing. So when you are in that state of physical health that you deserve to be in, you feel good about it. You work for it. And guess what? You will make sure you would not backtrack or go backwards in that once you come so far. So just know that you can do this. Take away the excuses. Bring in reason as to why you're going to make changes for yourself and see how it turns out. Hope that was a great one for you. I got a little passionate about that. And I do get passionate because I really care about, how we handle and manage our health and how we're reflected in our food choices and how we can start turning into the individual person that we're meant to be and know that we're worth it. So I hope that helps you. If you know anyone out there that is struggling or have been struggling with their relationship with food or just how they see themselves, this would be a great opportunity to share that and send that message forward. As I told you, this is Rashonda, the dietitian against diets, against the diet mentality, not particularly what we eat, but how we eat and how we've been taught to eat. As I leave here, speaking of health and what we eat, there's a particular company here in St. Louis. I've become very close friends with the owner, and I know exactly what her company stands for and why all her work has been reflected in her products. Banner Road Baking Company. It is a company just based off nothing but granola, but not just granola that comes with organic ingredients. It doesn't just give you a handful of oats and dried fruits. It comes with nuts and seeds and grains and spices, and they're all natural, no artificial flavors. And you can use it in multiple ways. You can just have it as a snack, add it to your yogurt, or even turn it into cereal. They also have very unique ways they collaborate their flavors. I want to encourage you to go to their website and take a look at, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Go to bannerroad.com and you will see the selections of different granolas that they offer, as well as the history behind why they are who they are. You can also find them on Instagram at Banner Road, and you can also find them on Facebook at Banner Road. So check them out. They're essentially have an online service now, considering what's happening. Take advantage and do something different and try something that's, it's going to be good for you, and it's also going to taste good. So check them out at bannerroad.com. This is Rashonda Thornton, the dietitian against diets. Stay healthy, guys. Stay safe out there and stay positive with yourself and what you believe and know that you deserve. Thanks and talk soon.